Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here yet again for another amazing episode of Mount Schmoedown. As you can see with our overlay in the title of the video, we are doing a Star Wars competitor, Sam Witwer. Sam Witwer is not only a Schmoedown competitor, he is a doing pretty well famous actor as well. It's the reason why he wasn't able to do the Schmoedown anymore whatsoever. So it's good for him that he's able to do that, but kind of a bummer for all of us fans, because there is a competitor we would love to see him go up against. We will talk about that near the end of the video. I was going to bring that up there, but we're going to be talking about the amazing Sam Witwer, where it feels like he's a machine when it comes to Star Wars questions. It's like Alex Damon right now. Like Alex Damon, you feel like if you say anything Star Wars related, they'll have it. They'll know the answer within 15, 20 seconds.
Like they'll pull it out. Like they don't even have to wait till the question's over. It's just like, oh, I got it. I'll just wait for you to finish. And then they'll just pull it out.
Yeah, you're like, how is this possible?
It just goes to show with someone like Witwer and Damon, I mean, the fact that they chose to be in the Star Wars division shows that these men, they know what they're talking about. They love the subject they're a part of. And it's one of the reasons why these two, Witwer mainly is one of the prime examples why the Star Wars division why it is a thing and why it still exists, because of amazing moments where they can just pull questions to not even the most general of Star Wars fans would know.
Right. Exactly. It's truly amazing to see him just go at it. Such amazing work there. Now, because Witwer does not have a lot of matches, we are going to do what we did last week, where we take one match and we kind of break it down. Sam technically only had three matches. He was 2-1
in his record.
So he actually technically lost his first Star Wars match in the Star Wars division.
He did.
And that is one of the biggest moments in the Star Wars division history. I definitely would say. You could definitely say it might even be up there with one of the most iconic moments in Schmoedown history. We've had a lot of matches. There's been a lot of moments, so it's really hard to scale it down to the top ones, but I feel like this moment from Star Wars Celebration in 2017 is that moment. Ben, what are your thoughts that you remember about seeing Witwer?
I just remember when you guys said he's a machine. He's like the Star Wars encyclopedia. He knew everything. It was carrying the knowledge he had. And I'm just wondering, with all the deep cuts today, how would he handle it? How would he do it in like this past Star Wars tournament? Like, would an ace and Sam match, how long would that go on? Would they just keep going into 7th death, the two of them?
The thing with Sam is I think it's all base knowledge. I don't think Sam is someone who studies. So I think with all of these competitors now in the current Schmoedown, you don't find a lot of competitors that go just based on base knowledge. Almost every single one of them, they study now, just because, especially with Star Wars is the one division that is super specific. You can't, it's not going to be one of those things, oh, I forgot to put the or a. They are so specific that if you don't get it exactly, the question is considered incorrect.
Exactly.
We saw that in the championship match for the Star Wars Twitch tournament. Andrew's 5-pointer was very specific about a droid. It was the one he didn't know.
Yeah.
Which sucks. It sucks for him because he was working so hard. You were rooting for both of them. I wanted that one to just keep going back and forth because it was such a great match.
Yeah.
So the question is,
Go ahead.
seeing how how good Sam is with his base knowledge, could you imagine how good he could have become if he studied, if he had time to put in all this work? That's scary AF. If
That
you
would,
really think about it.
yeah, that would be interesting. Say Christian gives him like
he would.
like 2 or 3 months. Sam, you have a match. Do whatever you want with that time. You can either study or just go on your base knowledge. I really feel like he would probably not study, but probably just watch the sequel trilogy a little bit more, because I feel like those are probably ones he doesn't have as good of a base knowledge. I'm almost certain 1 through 6, there's not a question he does not know. There's nothing in those movies he does not know.
No. He's most likely, in my opinion, when it comes with the 1 to 6, including the Clone Wars outside. I mean,
yeah, which is a theatrically released movie, so they do include those.
So if I were to include 1 through 6 and the Clone Wars, Sam has probably the top like 85, 90% statistical of base knowledge when it comes to those. He won't be intimidated if a question from Clone Wars came up, like we see with players like Demolanta did, or like with Scrimshaw, or like with Sean Sullivan or Laura Kelly. I mean, they won't be terrified of it, but it will just be more of you get that collective groan from them, which is why with Witwer, I do agree with you, Brandon. If he does get more time to look at the sequel trilogy, including with the spin-offs of Solo and Rogue One, he would be able to be the most terrifying competitor to go up against. Like, it's one of the reasons why everyone wants a Damon and Witwer match. We could have gotten that.
We could
have. Yeah, but no disrespect, nothing to say about his acting career. He wanted to go after something he loved. He got a job for it. All congrats to you.
Agreed.
I would have loved to have seen Sam at least have one match against one of the current competitors of the Star Wars division, though.
Yeah, but I've seen on some Twitch streams, it seems like he's kind of put that behind him, the Schmoedown. Yeah. Like, it sounds like he just doesn't want to do it anymore.
I don't forget, he was in Solo, so I don't think he made this.
Well,
technically,
physically he wasn't, but yeah, his voice was in the
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
We know exactly what you're talking about. But go ahead, keep going.
I think him being in that, no pun intended, being in that universe or galaxy, I don't think he can compete anymore. Maybe I'm wrong, but...
No, he was involved with Rebels when he was doing these matches. So it's not that he's involved with Star Wars is why he can't do it. I think it's just more of a choice. He just doesn't want to.
Okay.
Or maybe there's no incentive for him to do it. I felt like during these seasons, like seasons 4 and 5, I guess he felt like, or Christian may have made a pitch to him, like, you do this, it really helps the show grow, build in popularity. He doesn't need Witwer for that anymore. He has so many other competitors that Christian can use to build up the Schmoedown. So I feel like Christian probably asked once, probably in like season 6, and Sam was like, no. And I think after that, Christian's like, don't worry about it. Because I have so many other competitors that he can focus on to build up the Schmoedown.
It's a shame, but I get it. Like, there is a part of me, I understand why he's gone, and I'm happy for him. There is a part of me that would have liked one cutscene of him handing over the belt to, I'm guessing, Damon, right?
I'm pretty sure he has the old belt. He still has the old classic belt because it was... I mean, there was a cutscene involving Witwer, but it was just more in the situation where it was just Thad gets news that Witwer can't compete, and then Emma... No,
I know. I remember that.
Oh, you mean like him passing off the belt to Damon, giving a tease? Oh, that's what you're going with. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted like one more visual representation of him. But like I said, I get it and I understand, but yeah.
I mean, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, it's clear. I mean, I want to say a never say never situation, but even then, Witwer gave us great moments, great matches within his short time. And even though he's played 3 Star Wars matches, I still love that team match when it was him and Freddie Prinze Jr. Against Knapsack and Campia, the Council.
That was so great. And
Great.
that might have been the first controversy. Or one of the first controversies.
One of the few, yeah, to be highlighted, yeah. Because in that match, yeah, go ahead, Ben, go ahead.
If you watch that match and watch until the end of the video, Christian actually comes on the screen and makes a public statement about that controversy.
Yeah,
You don't get that anymore.
I think in maybe some videos it's there, but
Usually he'll say it on Twitter or SCN or the Facebook group. I don't think he needs to come onto a video, like say there's a controversy in one match. The next video he comes on to explain it. I don't think that's necessary because he has SCN Live. Like, like if he needs to make some sort of statement or announcement, it's usually Twitter or SCN Live, backstage.
And sometimes when he does like those Facebook lives, I mean, he would always those Q&As on Facebook Live. Yeah,
Right.
So, but let's go to the moment, as it's literally. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. So it was at the 2017 celebration. They had a Star Wars 5-way. They had Ken Knapsack, Jeremy Johns, John Campia, Sam Witwer, and I believe it was Jenny Nicholson.
That is correct.
I think at first it was just supposed to be Witwer, Campia, and Knapsack.
Johns, actually.
Johns, but then, like, I think another person added, and then they decided, why don't we add Jenny Nichols? She also knows a lot about Star Wars. But as you can see, they are here in the final round. Jeremy Johns is up by 3. Question is asked to Sam Witwer. Let's just watch it.
It's back. Who barked the order? Shields up. Just before the Falcon buzzed the Star Destroyer's bridge.
And just look on his face, like it's like he.
There it is. Yeah, there's that change.
Name of the character. 5.
Like he's stumped. Like it's just like.
3, 2, 1. Need an answer?
Oh God.
3,
Apology accepted.
1.
Captain Niet.
Yeah, the stumble. Yeah, that stumble.
It's
that stumble, man.
It's so weird. Like throughout that entire match, he didn't stumble. He had no doubt in his mind. For some reason, he had a gaffe. Like he just couldn't think of it, and like he knew it because he said "niet."
But I will say earlier before that was his 5-pointer. He also stumbled on his 3-pointer, which definitely also threw him off too. Because in his 3-pointer, he was very assured of his answer, but then when it wasn't the right one, there was that look on his face. Like, wait, what? And then that really kind of like unraveled with Witwer. And we talked about this in John's episode. If Knapsack and Campia had missed, Johns would have walked away with the biggest upset over 3 strong Star Wars players, especially out of Witwer and Knapsack.
Yeah.
And it's just like, Witwer to that day, and even in I think some packages earlier on during the 6th season, that moment was in those little video packages of him missing it, because that was the highlighted moment that the Schmoedown can really sell off of when it came with the intensity, the whole mental aspect of this game.
Yeah, it was like, it's just the look on his face was like, it's like he wasn't expecting that question. Like he couldn't, like it was just like he literally had like a brain fart. Like he's like, what is it? Like it's.
And at the same time, it was a quotes thing. So you had to be specific with that. And normally with 5-pointers, you're expecting them to be like very. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, back then, of course, 5-pointers was just more of a plot specific. But the fact that it was a character who was like in passing with Captain Nita. It was just And it's thrown out so quick because I love Empire Strikes Back. I watch that movie almost once every 6-7 months.
No.
And even then, something like that of shields up, I don't see his face being said on screen. I don't see his face actually saying it. So it's like you hear that quote, like, well, who actually said it? So it throws you a lot. It throws you off a bit.
Yeah, so that was at Star Wars Celebration, which was in July of that year.
Yes.
So up to that point, we hadn't really had a lot of Star Wars matches. Like, I felt this kind of started the snowball effect of Christian maybe getting more Star Wars matches, maybe considering it a division. We got our next one, which was a 5-way between Witwer, Scrimshaw, Damon, O'Neal, and Saunders. This was Alex Damon's first match.
And Scrimshaw's first match. Too.
Yeah, and Scrimshaw. Don't look at Scrimshaw's record. Like, he's like, I think 0-3 now.
1-4. He's 1-4 actually.
That is not a reflection of how good he's had to go up against. He's gone up against Damon 3 times, I believe. One was a 3-way, because it was
this
Damon,
5-way, and then the Chicago live event where he played for the title.
Like, he's gone up. I'm like, I don't look at that record because every single match he plays so well. Just things don't go his way. You kind of feel bad for Scrimshaw. And in this match, we saw why Alex is the demon. Like, he was going neck and neck with Witwer the entire match.
Yeah, those 3 were the dangerous ones. Like, they got all of their 3 round 3 questions. It was God.
It was.
Well, now, whatever happened to these other guys? How come we never got them back?
You mean Saunders and O'Neal?
Yeah.
Maybe they just didn't want to come back, or they just couldn't find the time.
I think it was more of they weren't necessary. Like, their knowledge. And the thing is, they know Star Wars, but the trivia aspect, I think, the whole 15 seconds to pull the answer, I just think is what it was. And the fact is, after this match, Christian has Knapsack, he has Witwer, he has Damon, he has Scrimshaw. He has plenty of other Star Wars competitors that he can kind of push.
Those are
he saw
almost like his 4 pillars. His 4 pillars that Christian can really shape that Star Wars around. Like, especially when Inner Geekdom, when it was starting out, who were the pillars you could have built that league around? Of course, you have many people wanting to play in that league too. So with Star Wars, it made a lot of sense how Christian wanted to keep it limited. He wanted to at least have a finite number of players. And also at the same time, whoever was writing the question, because I know at the time Chris Galiski was their question writer before they started expanding the team. So it was always good to maybe have like Star Wars once every 3 or 4 months, just so we can keep the questions fresh, so you don't have to keep reusing, and also find new ways to writing the same question. So the fact that you want to test these guys. This isn't something simple like who played who or what character is this. You change up that question, it's really testing their knowledge. It's really trying to make them not just think about it, but really have to reevaluate and look at the movies and this franchise that they love.
This first question explains that exactly. What pilot was codenamed Red 6 during the first Death Star battle? Most people only know the character's last name. They don't know the character's first name. Ryan, I don't know if you know the answer to that.
Well, I keep forgetting how his first name is, but it's Jack Porkins or Jed Porkins. Yeah, you see?
So, again, it's one of those questions it's not super deep, but it's not like something you could find if you've only watched it a couple times. It's something that with these competitors, who knows how many times they've watched these movies, especially this one.
Is it in the movie, the first name?
First name, no.
No, it's his last name. That's the thing with Star Wars. The fact that it's so specific, because there's a visual dictionary, and there's also Star Wars wikis and Star Wars databanks to where more information of the characters, and then you compile the books and comics that's based off of this series. The fact that they start to they fill in the gaps of the movies. So if let's say character of Jack Porkins, he could have had himself an extensive background in the Star Wars universe from the books, but you can't compile that. All you can take from him is his name and what he was.
So, like in this era of the Schmoedown, if I put Porkins, this era that we're watching,
I think it's still
would that
accepted.
be what?
Let's actually watch
Sorry,
this.
Ben. I'm sorry for interrupting you. You can finish your thought. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I just wonder if Porkins would have been allowed.
Yes, because
That is correct.
we got Porkins.
Joseph,
Jack Porkins.
that is correct.
He puts Jack. She puts Porkins.
Alex.
I'm going in. Cover me, Porkins.
And Sam.
Jack.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
So Scrimshaw and Damon put Jack Porkins. Everyone else put Porkins, and they accepted it.
Yeah.
Because in the movie they don't say Jack Porkins. It's just Porkins. So you can't
Now here's my question. That's the same question that he asked today in current season.
Yes.
Do they allow
both of them. Yes.
Porkins or is it
I think
more
they take both.
specific?
I think.
Ben?
Well, I think they take both.
Ben, I think that's the reason why Star Wars is going to be spun up. And also, when it comes with the question itself, like they would say, what Starfire pilot, what Rebel pilot went under the code name of Red 6 or was identified as Red 6? That question can be changed in so many ways. Instead of what is the full name of the Rebel pilot,
That's
code name Red 6, or what is Porkins' first name? You know, like that's why when it comes with something like Star Wars, you can take a question like that and you can rewrite it and rephrase it in so many different ways. That's why I love what you said, Ben. That is a great point to pull up.
The thing is, today, you can challenge that question. If somebody gets it wrong, they could easily
The first
challenge
question
it.
in round 1, I don't think they do. If this ends up being a round 2 or round 3 question, I'd say yeah. But the first question of a match, unless it's something so drastic like Elba and Alba,
I feel like we just saw that. Didn't we see somebody challenge?
We did see that first question challenge with
Yeah,
with Molly
yeah.
Damon and Adam Witz. Yeah, the shield generator or the power generator.
So with that question I think was asked in either this match or another Star Wars match. And that answer they did not accept in the Damon Witt match.
Okay.
So I think that's why they challenged it, because
Yeah. Well, I think Witt challenged it because it was about the specificity of the answer.
Okay. Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah.
Star Wars is always gonna be, you don't know. Like this question right here, you could rephrase as, what was Jack Porkins' call sign in the first Death Star battle?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And at the
Red
same
6.
time, at the same time, in the Death Star battle, not many characters' names are said aloud. It's always their code names. The only characters with their code name said out loud is Luke, his friend Biggs, Wedge, and Porkins. I mean, there's probably more. I'll have to rewatch it again. I most likely
Hey,
will.
maybe you're in the future we watch our trilogy. There you go.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's why when it's interesting, just one question like that can lead to so many like, to paraphrase the Batman Forever, it just leads to too many questions.
it just leads to too many questions. So believe it. Do they go 10 here, or are they...
I think so. I believe Witwer is the only one that goes 10. Damon and Scrimshaw miss.
Because across all the
Yeah, see, look at that right there. Question: Scrimshaw and Damon missed question 6.
6, yeah.
And keep going further. That's there's a challenge made. I believe Steele Saunders, he challenged question 7.
One pens down Joseph. 4.
What object did Yoda and R2-D2 fight over, ending with Yoda saying, "Mine or I will not help you"?
It was a lamp, but Steele Saunders wrote torch because in the British terms, torch is a lamp.
I put lamp with a period to show my confidence.
We'll accept lamp, Shannon.
Lamp.
That is correct, Alex.
Lamp.
And Sam? Lamp, that is correct. And
I want the variation of Space Torch.
we're not going to give you Space Torch there. I don't think so.
What? It's a Space Torch!
I think it kind of is a space
You can
torch.
challenge that if you like.
See?
I challenge.
You challenge experts in here.
Yeah, and they
Writing's not that
ads.
easy,
Of
but
course, we get
Grammarly
that.
can help.
I should have been playing this on my personal YouTube because I don't.
But it's wordy.
I
I
have
have to
YouTube
worry about
Premium.
this.
It undermines the
have
writer's message,
premium
and the
too.
word choice is bland.
I literally only
Australia,
use
I
it
guess
so I can
Torch is a
play
light.
stuff.
Oh, he's Australian.
I'm gonna go ahead and give Steele the point there. We'll give
Yeah, he
Steele
won
the
it
point.
because torch isn't there way for a lamp or a flashlight. But yeah, I think they continue, and yeah, Sam's the only one that goes perfect.
Yeah, he's a machine.
Yeah, it's just your base knowledge there.
Yeah, right here, most of these questions is just pure base knowledge.
Yeah. Although I have to admit, oh my god, that
Yeah,
Julian
what-
Grever one there. This one, that question itself, that is where you really have to intently watch the movies or get
Holy shit.
yeah.
I don't even know the answer to that. Brown?
Steele's trying to find the word in
Yeah.
Australia.
You don't. See,
Wow, I'll tell you something.
and that's the thing. No one
Still
people.
trying to find the word in Australia.
It almost ruins Star Wars.
Introduce both of them. 5, 4, 3.
Oh my god. I've even asked this question to friends and they were stumped.
That's a perfect round.
He gets a bonus.
Steele. Wow. Steele.
Let's just say I had a less than perfect round.
All right. Joseph.
Blue.
Correct. Shayna.
I went with brown.
All right. And Alex.
Blue.
All right. So.
I mean,
Sam Witwer.
the thing is, Chewie's brown, so I think a lot of people just assume that his eyes are also brown.
Yeah.
Guys got a perfect round scrimshaw.
Again,
I'm a-
like you said, that is something that you would only know if you either study or look it up, or you've seen the movie so many times that you look so closely into his eyes.
Sam, in The Force Awakens, Han Solo said that he used to think that the magical power of the Force was a bunch
I think he did a Harrison Ford impression.
He does.
Mumbo jumbo.
Yes.
Sam Witwer.
He's so good.
Yeah. So then we go to
And then-
round 2.
I believe I think they nailed their slice and they also got steals as well.
Yeah,
Which
so
made the
we
scores-
have we end up getting The Force Awakens, Revenge of the Sith, Who Said It, and Rogue One, and then
Fifth
Empire
one.
Strikes Back because there's 5
Yes.
of them. So I don't think there's anything major there. So
Okay.
at the end of round 2, this is our score. Witwer is only up by Damon by 2. Who's tied with Scrimshaw. Saunders is just out of knockout range.
And O'Neill had gotten eliminated because she had unfortunately did not. She just wasn't within the 10-point differential.
Yep. So then we go to round 3. So
They picked their numbers. Yeah.
1, 3, 8.
Because
So I think from here on out we'll go over each question just because it's round 3.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Catch up to 20 points.
I don't think Steele ever got. Yeah, he got TKO'd because he missed a question.
To hit all 3 of his points.
That's
All
right.
3 of his questions.
Steele Saunders making it very easy for us up here, picking number vehicles
All right.
and weapons.
Vehicles and weapons.
That category, just like Clone Wars, is dreaded in the Star Wars division. That's for sure.
I know he wants to.
Your question for 2 points. What is the center switch on a speeder bike used for?
Jamming their comms.
Yep.
Locking transmissions. Jamming.
We can accept jamming conlinks
That works.
is the
Yeah.
official answer to
Absolutely.
Because Luke says
All right, Steele right there.
jam
Steele
their
for-
comms,
Yeah.
it's
Steele
the
has
center
number
switch.
16.
So
Yeah.
that's how they used it for the question.
Number 16 corresponds to a film known as The Phantom Menace.
Seen it.
The Phantom Menace. For 3 points, your question is, what veteran actor played the Supreme Chancellor of the Galactic Senate at the
Was
start
also
Terrence Stamp.
3 more
Zod
points.
Steele. Look at
in
that.
Superman 2. He also voiced Jor-El on
In
Smallville.
Smallville. And I actually rewatched Superman 2.
So he has the 5
It's not as good as I remember it being, honestly.
It's not as bad as 3 and 4 though. 3 and 4.
It's really not. But when I watch the Donner cut, the Donner cut makes a lot more sense.
Filming location.
Yeah, it does.
And your question is, in what Central American country?
So
That one.
this, yeah, this question has nothing to do about the movie. I don't think they do these ones. I don't remember getting any of these in the tournament.
No filming locations were ever brought up during the Twitch tournament.
Just because it's not about the movie. But it's something, if you're studying and reading the visual dictionaries, this is something that you would find out.
Yeah, it's those fun fact questions. Like one of my favorite fun fact questions is, what animal was used to create the voice of the Rancor? It was a Dachshund breed of a dog. You know.
Can you repeat the question?
I certainly may. This is the last one. Well, then he used
I
it
believe
for
this is the final
for 5
match
points. In what
of season
Central
4.
American country were the
Yeah, then it
exterior
gets the
shots
spectacular
of
with the
Yavin
championship.
Moon film?
So
Oh, of course he misses. I'm trying to remember if it was Guatemala or if it was
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah.
2,
it's
1.
Guatemala.
Need an answer?
I think we should take a time just to talk about the Steel Wars podcast.
Flex his pop.
Questions coming up on it soon, so...
Oh, does that buy him another 10 seconds?
And with that, Steel has been eliminated.
Yeah.
But he did put up a good fight. I do not doubt that.
All right.
But he moving up against Damon, Witwer, and Schmoedown.
Yeah, he would have easily been knocked out if he had gotten that 5-pointer. But, you know, it's like the fact he gets Damon and Scrimshaw to answer the questions.
The demon.
2.
Like back then, I think in that match it was called The Explainer. I'm glad it was changed.
What question does Darth Vader ask in his first line in Star Wars: A New Hope?
Where are those transmissions you received?
Yeah.
What have you done with those plans?
Yep.
Ah!
Just when we get that, we get a anti-gun law. He was like, no!
How would you define a luxury watch? Usually we think of high quality, exclusive.
This ad brings up constant questions. Do people still wear watches? I know I have a personal watch. It's just...
I have an iWatch.
Okay, yeah, Apple watches, iWatches, yeah.
I would. It wasn't jamming comlinks.
That's true. We're gonna give it to you.
Damon gave the first 2 lines, as Vader says, so that is acceptable.
Yeah, because you got to think, what is considered the end of a line in a movie?
Yes.
Is it in the script, his section of those lines that he
Yes.
says? Is
Or-
it literally, if it's on 2 lines, is it just the top line? Like,
Exactly. And in that, Vader is like, and if you remember that scene, Vader is interrogating a rebel captain. So he is yelling at him before the captain can even get a word in. So there's like a lot that he says. So
there's a lot to unpack there. Yeah.
Can I just say that
Yes.
is awesome scene?
it is.
You think Vader took out somebody?
Football
Isn't
reception,
it awesome?
reception, huge.
Vader, he snaps the dude's neck and then throws him across the, and then throws him against the door. How badass is that?
After Alex had hit his 2
Vader is the ultimate.
Watching this makes me miss studio matches so
Joseph
much.
Grimshaw
Yeah.
will be administering your questions.
Felt the same thing with the council and the
You're
fourth
not there,
row.
man.
Nothing for you right now.
Oh my
I
god.
understand.
You picked number 11,
I did.
number of Mark Rippon, and also the Clone Wars,
Mmm.
which is a Star Wars movie. Let's do it. 2 points, Joseph.
Yep. Not even afraid of that
What
question.
nickname did Anakin Skywalker give to Ahsoka Tano in the Clone Wars?
Snips.
2 points.
All
The-
right.
That question is one of the more common amongst the Clone Wars movies that anyone can get. But with Demolance's Clone Wars question, that one got him.
Is that movie really that bad?
It's on the level of what some people feel like
What
all
did
the other
Anakin ask
prequel
Padme
movies are.
when they first met?
Are you an angel?
You an angel.
2 points.
Yep.
Sam Witwer, not even.
Well, some people actually love the Clone Wars movie, putting it in like their top 5. Others think the Clone Wars are like along the lines of the Holiday Special and the Phantom Menace.
The way that Sam
No,
said
so
that,
if you
it
watch the
reminded me
entire
of the hype
series
song, How
of
You
Star
Talk to
Wars,
an Angel.
Yeah. All right, so
Star Wars: The Clone
Alex
Wars,
now-
the
Alex now
Clone
has
Wars
his
movie
3
is not that bad.
Alex, your
Yeah,
3
it
points.
played just
Because
like
it
an
makes-
episode.
It fits. Yeah,
Name 3
it's like
planets
4
that
episodes.
were featured in Attack of the Clones.
That's easy.
Geonosis and Tatooine.
The guy doesn't want any more time.
Yeah,
Yep.
again, there's more than 3, so
Yeah.
we bounce back. We bounce back to Scrimshaw.
So yeah,
now,
I
who
mean,
has his
that's
three.
another question that
All
can
right,
be
Joseph
phrased
Grimshaw.
completely different.
Your question comes from
So
category
far, all
14.
these round 3 questions for
14.
these 3
And
competitors,
that corresponds
they haven't
to
even
some
need to
might say the
think.
second
It was
greatest
just a
ball in all
reaction.
time,
That's
the
how
Empire
good these
Strikes
3
Back.
are.
Some might say that.
Your question for 3 points.
I mean,
What is
they
the call sign of the snowspeeder pilot who found Luke and Han?
This one he may have to think a little bit. Again,
Yeah.
this is...
that
Rogue
is
2.
3 points.
Rogue 2,
Scrimshaw.
Zemsdaneska.
Divided it up. And now Sam's looking to take the lead here. Sam's got his
So we got
three-pointer, and now
4
it's category
questions
number 3
left
for Sam,
among the
and that
3.
is
Yeah.
the Skywalkers. The Skywalker.
That is a category I've not
Go,
seen pop
Sam.
up. Like that's I love that category in general.
So I
What
think with
was
the
Leia's
current
first
ones,
line?
there's the movies,
Yeah,
and
and then you can do it on the characters too.
yeah.
Darth Vader, only you could be so bold.
3 points for Sam. Wow, Sam.
Actually, that's funny because in that first 5-way celebration, they brought Skywalkers up again. I remember John's joked Ray. It's like, did he just low-key
Alex,
spoil
back
the
to
Rise
you.
of
You picked
Skywalker?
for your final category in your 5
Tell me no.
coincidentally enough.
No, he did not.
Tell me
Know.
no.
That corresponds to.
But it's funny rewatching that match now with all the films released.
Producer of their kind here, and your 5-point question is: what is the name of Obi-Wan Kenobi's red
P17
astromech
or
droid
4P17, I
in
remember.
Attack of the Clones?
Or I could be off.
17.
Like he didn't even have to think; it was a reaction.
And then Mark's reaction is fantastic.
He's like, "What is this?"
Scrimshaw
I'm having
needs
a
to
heart
hit this
attack.
in order to
Oh my
tie
God.
Alex. He needs to tie Alex with his 5-pointer. Here we go, Alex.
Joseph.
Sorry, here we go. Joseph,
Joseph.
number 19.
Yeah,
Number
they all
19,
tied.
you have the category of, I have a bad feeling about this. 5-pointer. What 2 characters said the famous line in episode 4?
I think this would be a 2-pointer now.
It would be, yeah.
Luke Skywalker and Han Solo.
For 5 points.
Because the Star Wars division now,
So,
the questions
Scrimshaw
are
and
really
Alex
hard.
will play in a sudden death
Yeah,
if Sam
we-
misses. However,
I mean,
if
the
Sam
biggest.
hits his
Oh,
5
hold on, I want to stop
Sam
because
will be going
this-
on
Here-
to play.
this is legend. This is legend.
This
now.
is the moment.
This never goes well.
Yeah, you can look at Sam. I mean, he knows from his past experience he's messed up,
Spoiler alert.
and he feels like he did
So, your
lose.
5-pointer. In order to challenge Ken Knapsack,
And what his
championship
fit?
at the
What
Schmoedown
his
Spectacular.
fit?
Here is your category. Category is Who Said It? Who said it?
Like his
In
face is
The
away.
Empire Strikes Back, who said, "Get a shuttle ready. I shall assume full responsibility for losing them."
The look on his face, his look right there, his look right there is like, what the?
Even the full realization is just like,
Eyes
what?
of Lord Vader.
You're kidding me. Captain Nita.
Like, okay, I just want to go back to the
Oh.
look on his
Who
face.
said,
even if you could do
"Get a
slow
shuttle
blow,
ready.
it's
I
fantastic.
shall assume full responsibility for losing them and apologize."
He's like, I think his head, he's like, Christian, are you effing kidding me with this? The question that I lose on in the last match is the character for the one that wins me this match.
God.
This is one of my favorite moments ever. Are you kidding me with this? Captain Nita.
And even that itself is in the video package.
No.
There's the
He's like, hold on.
That is the will of the Force. There's no doubt about it.
That really just happened?
That just happened. That just happened. Got it right here.
Yeah, and again,
Like if I
Like, he is just speechless.
Did it, but what a battle he did.
Oh my
30,
God.
28,
Just
28,
jeez.
16, 11.
And I
These
think
are all
then
Star Wars
that is still
athletes
well, that's a 5-way match, so 30
Unbelievable,
points is
this
very
battle.
high. And then even sets another high point score in that Iron Man
At the
match.
celebration,
It
So-
comes back
saves
to
him. It's unbelievable.
We don't
luck
actually
of the
know
draw,
what-
the picking of the numbers.
Damon's actually set the
Congratulations,
only
not
high
just to
score
Sam
points in an
Witwer,
actual
but all
5-rounder,
five
so-
competitors here. True Blue. Star
After
Wars
that, we got
So, yeah, that is just the look on his face is like, Wait, really?
I
You're
mean,
really asking me this question?
And then you're kidding me,
right? He's just like
it's soap opera. It's like a telenovela all of a sudden. Just like kick that clip and then just do like some telenovela music. Just boom, 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 boom. No, ay Dios mío, no. I don't know Spanish, so I'm not gonna try.
Maybe the Curb Your Enthusiasm music.
And then this match had another epic moment. Unfortunately, it didn't feature Witwer, but the whole Ken joining the Lions Den.
This was definitely when I was 100% invested in the Schmoedown. I mean, I got in like right. I came into the Schmoedown after the collision, and then it was just kind of like following it from there. And then that moment just, even then, I was like big Nerd Watch fan, like with Knapsack. But then even that was Witwer, huge fan. Loved playing Force Unleashed with him as the titular character. Loved him from his time in Smallville. The fact that he voiced Darth Maul made me actually want to watch the Clone Wars.
Dude, if you go and watch some of the behind the scenes of when he does it, he gets in, like, he's still like physically he's acting like his whole he puts his whole body into it, like just the way he does the voice, like you can tell he loves Star Wars. He loves Star Wars.
Even his breakdowns of certain Star Wars moments, like in Rebels, when he talks about Obi-Wan and Darth Maul's last stand on Tatooine, how he breaks that down too is amazing. And I love how it does play off like a Western in that moment in where it's not an extensive battle. It's pretty much one shot, done. I think that's one thing about Star Wars is fantastic. When you get it down. Go ahead.
With him winning this match, he then goes to play Knapsack for the championship.
Oh my god.
Which they decided to make a Iron Man match, which as you can see is 30 minutes long.
And that match, before it got to speed round, Witwer was dominating. He dominated when it was just those one questions at a time. Once it got to that speed round, it all changed back into Knapsack's hands to where he had a fighting chance.
So we, hold on, we're at 21, so we'll go...
Because let's see, it does start to change. Look at that.
10 minutes in, it's pretty close. It's 16-17.
Yes.
So still fairly close. We go, hold on... 10 minutes in, we're starting to pull away a little bit. 29-34. We then jump here.
Because the last 2 minutes is a speed round.
I think we're getting about another ad once it decides to catch up.
If it's an old
inflection point.
Nope. I was hoping for an Old Spice ad.
Old Spice ad.
Or Dr. Squatch ads of their soap. I actually watch all those ads because they're funny.
So, here we come down to the final 2 minutes.
Has a 5-point lead.
Final 2 minutes, 38-43.
Editors that do not some
that we see in
episode we're in the speed round now. That's when it all changes.
This is when Ken just goes on a roll.
Correct.
So he goes one.
In the Force Awakens, how much Han Solo for the Rathtar job?
That's Ken.
50,000 credits.
Correct.
Please.
So it looks like what we're just
referring to when he says, "Whenever you gamble, my friend, eventually you lose." Sam.
Water.
Correct.
4-point game.
Which of C-3PO's limbs was ripped off by Sand People in Episode 4?
I mean,
That's Sam.
Oh, Sam.
Arm.
Which one?
See, it's one of those situations.
Correct. Left arm.
Oh.
Loses a point.
Okay.
So
Who
Ken's
was
down by
Qui-Gon
3.
Jinn's master? Ken.
Count Dooku.
Correct. All right.
I'm muted.
That one.
I'm muted.
You're muted? We can hear you.
Yeah. Muted.
Oh.
Wait, are you saying someone's muted or the video's muted?
I am.
Oh.
No, you're not.
No, Ben, you were a bit, but we can completely hear you now because we just paused the video.
Oh, sorry.
How does
No worries,
Kylo
man.
Ren
It's okay.
refer to Darth Vader during his monologue about finishing what he started? Ken.
Grandfather.
Correct.
1-point game.
According to Yoda, what does hate lead to? Sam.
Suffering.
Correct.
Here comes to the final minute.
What is
Yeah, that's when it
what
gets
is-
intense.
What is the Emperor referring to when he asked Luke, "You want this, don't you?"
His
Ken.
lightsaber.
His lightsaber.
Okay.
Correct. What did R2D2
1 point.
go
I just
into
wanna
by
play along
mistake
to
when
this.
looking for a computer
Right?
terminal in Cloud City?
Sam.
Power socket.
Correct.
What did C-3PO call R2 as they entered the escape pod in Episode 4?
Sam.
Overweight lob of grease.
Correct.
3-point game.
And just like that,
How
30
many
seconds, 3
Imperial
points apart.
stormtroopers
3
pursued
points
the
apart.
Ewok who stole the speeder bike?
Ken.
3.
Correct.
2-point.
And you could tell on that one, like he put his whole body into it because he was like, I gotta get this.
Game.
Yes.
Who directed Rogue One?
Ken.
Gareth Edwards.
Correct.
1-point game. Who wrote the
Look
screenplay
at-
for The Phantom Menace?
Sam.
George Lucas.
Correct.
What was Han Solo's response to Lando's "I'm sorry" apology?
Sam. Sam.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
You're out.
Oh.
That's 1 point left.
In
Okay.
Episode 7, who sets off the explosives in the
6.
oscillator in Starkiller Base?
Ken.
Chewbacca.
How
And
many
then right here.
times his normal rate did Han offer to pay Jabba
This-
if he would spare his life?
Sam.
Take a trip.
Hey,
The,
God.
I've seen so many different debates on this. Should this question have counted?
Yeah, because there's 3 seconds left. Yeah.
Now,
Let's go back. Let's go back to that.
The thing
I
is,
mean-
they start the question.
In the
6.
oscillator in Starkiller Base.
Ken.
Chewbacca.
How many?
It's 2 seconds. They're at 2 seconds, so you got to think. There are so many different things that involve competition that if you start it before the time goes out, then it doesn't matter what happens after that. There's some where you have to finish completely before the time is out for it to count.
And look at Christian's face. He was keeping track of time during that. So it really
Yeah,
it
you
felt
could tell the look
right
on his
there at that
face.
wayside. Right there at the wayside. And even Christian knew he was going to expect this. I mean, personally, it worked great in Ken's character, the fact that he wants to play on that, and it was just Ken in character. I don't think Ken personally cared about that rule. I know for us as fans, when we look at that, we dissect it
Times his
apart
normal
over
rate
and
did
over
Han-
again.
Yeah.
Oh.
You could just tell.
Offer to pay Jabba if he would spare his life.
Sam.
Yeah.
And you're
And that was an extra 2 seconds. Like, once it got 0, an extra 2 seconds. So,
Like the thing is, I get Ken's side of it where it was at 0. They shouldn't have finished the question, but it's one of they had started it, so I get why he was he shouldn't have been able to answer it. But I'm like, so say they didn't, and they go tie. What do you do now? Do you still keep doing the speed round, or do you go back and do sudden death?
because even then, like, I don't think they could have done that old sudden death format to where they'd have the buzzer back out again. Person hits a bell, they have to hit that buzzer, they get a question right, and then if they get the question right again, they win. You know, it's like there are so many different ways they could have played that out. I mean, and especially if you looked at that, they were recording all of their matches on that Spectacular in one day.
I think that's another. If they didn't have to get in all those matches at that time, wouldn't have been surprised if they're like, let's just keep going. Let's go to sudden death. Just basically do round 1 over again.
And Christian was champion during that time and doing double duty as host and as a backstage commissioner. So he had a plate on his hands, a whole buffet of organization, scheduling, hosting duties, a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, and unfortunately it affected the outcome of his own match. But even then, it's still these situations where I see at Spectaculars, live events that Christian and Mark have to deal with. I never want to be that. Well, I mean, I will always bring up an issue, but I'm never going to be that person to always hound it and have it heavily criticize their way of doing this, because they're always improving afterwards. They're always changing things up. And I swear, if this was not Witwer's last match, I would have loved to have seen him and Damon at Collision. Those two.
That's what my question was going to be. How excited would we be if we ever got... And it had to be at an actual live venue, not a studio match, not an online match. Sam Witwer versus Alex Damon. Or what if Ace beats Damon at Spectacular this year? Would we get Ace versus Sam? It'd be interesting to think about.
That would, honestly. Ben, what do you think?
It would be epic. I would love it. I would be the first one to buy a ticket. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean,
Yeah.
Maybe an exhibition match, but I don't see him coming back in any official way.
How about this little query here? And this could be also a long shot, but we did talk about briefly how Mance would be with a manager. If, let's say, the prospect of Witwer coming back with a manager is possible.
Well, he was actually supposed to be.
Yeah,
with Fight Club.
like he and Draco were the first two involved, but because of Witwer's schedule, it was just something that wasn't meant to be. So Witwer is like in terms of wrestling, in terms of Degeneration X, Witwer is the Rick Rude of the Fight Club. He's the one member we didn't get to see a lot of.
Yeah, this is weird. This was in December of 2017. This is almost 3 years ago. This is the last time we saw Sam in the Schmoedown, which is, it seemed like a lifetime ago, especially after 2020.
Yes, and the fact that Witwer is still being talked about amongst even new Schmoedown fans when they're brought reference to older matches. Like Witwer and Knapsack, they're definitely one of the top 10 championship matches that people will always refer to new incoming Schmoedown fans.
The only issue I have with Iron Man match is it doesn't involve the game part whatsoever. It's just strictly knowledge based, which those are okay, I would say. It's fine to do it every now and then, like something like this. It would be interesting to get like a exhibition match for a Iron Man match. Also, it's very exhausting for the competitors. You're going 30 minutes straight of just answering trivia, and a lot of them are 1-point questions. You do not get very detailed ones.
No.
I have a question. Why you get in for this? It seems random. Why don't you make it a regular title match?
I think I'd have to go back and watch, but I think it was Ken that suggested it be an Iron Man match.
Oh no! It was Witwer. Witwer suggested it. I'm trying to remember now because
he did.
After the Witwer, he said jokingly, I think it was either Jen, that can we do this as it's pretty much after the 5-way when Ken aligns himself with the Lions, and it's in that interview. Witwer suggested it. I mean, I was thinking, I'm pretty sure that Mark and Christian would have thought of a great idea for an Iron Man match. I think the fact that Ken suggested it and they rolled with it, and then I think the reason why it works with these two is because not just the fact that Star Wars is a specific division, but these two men, they do live Star Wars. I mean, for Christ's sakes, Ken wrote a book on Star Wars. Sam played in Star Wars movies. So these were two men you could really pitch an Iron Man match with. I mean, we do see later on when they try to do Iron Man again with Above the Line Patriots.
That was Above the Line, just wipe the floor with the Patriots.
Yeah, it's just those situations.
I think that was the last Patriots match, actually.
Yeah, the last Patriots match. I think it was the last ever Iron Man match. It was never brought up again in the future.
I don't think a lot of competitors like it, and I don't think a lot of fans enjoy it.
The only one I would want to see, it would never happen. Dan Morrill versus Sam Levine. That would be an epic Iron Man match.
Well, I think it would be. Problem is that
I don't think it would happen.
I'm not shooting this down. I love that prospect. I mean, you can always pitch some great dream Iron Man matches with. It seems to me Sam is more comfortable now being a manager or personality.
Yeah.
I mean, if we see Sam in an exhibition match like he did with movie release dates, yes. Or like we're seeing with Brianne Chandler with the rom-coms exhibition along with Makuga, that is fantastic.
So, yeah, Sam, I will never stop giving up hope that he'll come back ever. I'm not expecting it. If it happens, I will be ecstatic. But again, unlikely to happen.
Yeah.
What was it, Ben?
Never mind. All right, tell us when we finish.
All right. Any parting thoughts, fellas?
Well, parting thoughts. I mean, with Witwer, his legacy is obviously cinched here in the Schmoedown. Whether it was being Star Wars, whether it's especially looking back at the Force Bros Jedi Council, we got to see a great team. I thought if we ever got to see any exposition, if there was ever the prospect of a Star Wars exhibition or the Star Wars teams match, not a division, but it's a Star Wars teams match, that match with Force Bros and Councils, the Council and the Force Bros, I can always refer back to and say that can be possible.
It's more like one Force Bro. Witwer really caring.
Yeah, I know Reddy was just there for support, but even then, I still like the idea because, I mean, look, these divisions are already spread up enough. I don't never see the possibility of Star Wars or IG becoming teams, having their own teams belts. But I'm just saying, if we do one-off matches where there are team divisions, it's possible. And also with Witwer, if he ever does come back, I don't think he's ever going to do an Iron Man match again, because in that, you saw he was exhausted.
Yeah, they both were. It's 30 minutes straight of just pure thinking. Like, it is exhausting. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Witwer is the only competitor that has been able to get revenge on a question that they lost on. I feel like there's no one who's been able, say they lost on a certain movie, that in a later match they got again and they got it right. What's weird is Sam, he
stands alone
in a row. It was back-to-back matches.
And I think we could each think of at least one player who would love that opportunity.
To be honest, there's so
I can
many
tell
I
you
can
one.
name.
Ben Bateman, with Giancarlo Stanton.
Esposito.
Yeah. That is probably one that he would love to get back.
I have another one. Clark Wolf for Southside with me. Because in her match against Irwin, she said Southside with you.
Yeah.
And even, of course, we all know the biggest one right in our faces. Rocco with Bespin.
Oh, I thought of another one.
Yeah.
Smets with Norton Campino.
Yeah, that's an.
Kalinowski.
I mean, he kind of though gets revenge, but it's not for that movie or that kind of question. He dominated Mike when he won the belt at Spectacular last year.
And at the San Diego Live
sort
event,
of revenge,
he TKO'd. He TKO'd Halavic after that loss when he played at the live event.
Yeah. So, like, he got revenge, but not on that movie or question. Sam's, like, the only one I can think of where literally it's the same character that he missed. Like, it's absolutely insane. And then the look on his face is like, wait, are you kidding me with this? Like, it's so great. For me...
Scrimshaw said it best. Will of the Force. It was the will of the Force.
It was the will of the Force.
It was the will of the Force.
Well, go right ahead, Brandon. I'm sorry for doing it. Sorry.
No. That's fine. Like, Sam, like, his lasting impact for me is he is the one competitor that has been able to get revenge on a character movie question that stumped him in a previous match. Now, most of the time, it's not going to happen in back-to-back matches, and I don't see this ever happening again where someone gets that opportunity. I would like to see it. I don't think it ever will.
It's a 1 in a million chance it happens again. I don't see it either.
If it ever does happen again, I would not say no for it to be.
His fake number. He didn't know that's what the number was going to be. Was that question? But he kind of picked it for himself.
Yeah, it was just the perfect set of circumstances that happened. Honestly, the more we go back on these matches, I'm pretty sure right now Sam Witwer is the only one to correct a mistake that was made. Yes. I mean, not many people. I mean, especially now with Schmoedown players, there are so many of them in post interviews or in when they're on SCN Live or when they're even just talking with other people. They go to, I really should have thought that through or taken more time on that. But that's just the thing of the game. With that limited amount of time, and you're running through so many thoughts in your brain trying to remember what movie it is, if you've seen it, if you have not, if you even know it just by your research, or if someone ever quizzed you on that movie, or if you ever reviewed the movie, or, you just heard people talk about it. Like, a lot of thoughts are going through your head at and add a second that you're not thinking of sometimes the obvious answer in front of your face.
Yeah, like for me, for Star Wars moment, this is my top moment ever for the Star Wars division. I think a lot of people would say something from the Star Wars tournament only because of recency bias, but I'm like, take a step back and really think. What is one of the most iconic moments in the Star Wars division? For me, it is Sam Witwer with Captain Nita. So, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. Down at the bottom, you'll see the username. It will also be in the description. Same with all of our Twitters here at the top. They will also be in the description of the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you guys next time.